Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Happy holidays. I'm just testing a few last minute things. Is this correct? Hopefully. We're clicking. Does it work? It works. Hopefully. Let's see. There has been some Wi-Fi issues today. But I do hope that there won't be any issues going forward. Let's see what we have here. Test. So the stream is going to be a little delayed, unfortunately. Only because I think my internet isn't very good today. Sometimes it just be like that. So hopefully chat and the video won't be as quick. So if I read your stuff, like if you comment, it might take a while for me to read it and then it being relayed back to you. Anyways, Torch, how's it going? Neo Galactic, what's going on? Jacob S3C, let's go. What's up, buddy? Looks like it is time. Torch, it is time. Dark the Dark Charmer, bro. I think the new trap is massively underrated. I do too, and I can't wait to talk about it. Abyss Walker, hello. New trap shouldn't be underrated after the new DM has arrived. We're gonna be talking about it. Millennium Bully TCG, let's go. Let's go. Happy you're here, man. Alexander, got all the cards in paper, doing some testing alongside of the stream. Let's go. We could test together. Gohan Blanco, my goat. My goat. The DM Discord bully. My goat. I love you, Gohan. How you doing, man? Dihab, I can't even say that. Dab 1096. Let's go. Happy you're here, man. Yugi Fight, my goat. You're my goat, man. Thank you. Hold on. Let's do this like this. Hopefully that works. Torch, my Wi-Fi is working terribly the last 2 days, dude. I don't know what it is, man. At the holidays, everyone's home and all these internet providers are just getting overloaded with stuff. XC Vadi 4, yo, hi Matchy, what's going on? Go. Thank you for coming in, joining the stream. Lachi, happy hello Matchy, happy holidays. How are you? I am doing as well as I can be right now. You know, the holidays were busy, but it's good. How are your holidays, man? I hope everyone's rested. Hopefully everyone's excited to test a few things. Hello, married man. Oh, speaking of which, I don't have my ring on. I should probably put that on for if my wife watches the stream, and she'd be like, "Where's your ring?" So we're gonna be in trouble. I'll be right back. Give me a second. I'm back. Link the Discord for the people who haven't joined. I can't link the Discord, but I hope someone in the chat can. Hold on. I can't link the Discord because I can't open up too many tabs or my computer's going to catch on fire. Can someone link the Discord in the chat, please? If you can, that'd be amazing. The Dark Magician Discord, so Jose OP can join the amazing festivities and learn so much for what the Dark Magician Discord has to offer. My fraud is live. Yo, Richard, your fraud is live. I'm a permanent fraud. I've lied to everyone. I know nothing about Dark Magician. In fact, I know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm a One Piece player now. Who's with me? Hello, Mr. Machi. Nicola Gnazio. How are you, my friend? Hope you're doing well, brother. Yo, anyways, today we have a loaded stream. We want the new goo from you. I don't know if we're going to give new goo, but we're going to do some talking. We're going to do some testing. And I'm going to download my ideas and insecurities onto you guys, right? And hopefully we come up with some really, really, really fun stuff. Okay, so where do we want to start? Let's start with giving myself a selfless plug. We are going to be unveiling a new playmat for my website, which you can find in the description. in the video description, right? And so this is the new playmat. Woo! We have 3 playmats on the store. What do you guys think? I think it's pretty cool. It has the Christmas theme, and because one of our favorite new monsters starters is Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice. Yeah, so we might be coming with the theme, and it's all Christmassy, and you know, it's the holidays, so we'll be rocking with this kind of playmat today for the stream. Give myself a selfless plug. If you want to purchase the playmat, you can check out my my website in the description below, or in my website in the video's description. Torch, see if you could put a space between the Discord link. If you could put a space in the Discord link, and then people can copy it and then put it together. Fire, best one so far. I appreciate you, Lucy Montclair. Thank you so much, buddy. Yeah, so hopefully I don't get demonetized, because this is a little, I don't know what YouTube's like policy is for playmats like this on stream. If this video doesn't get monetized, it is what it is, whatever. It kind of looks AI generated. It kind of is. Most of it is. So I'm not a great artist. What it is the silhouette is AI generated, and then it's colored by me, right? That's kind of how it works. And then the background is all me. It's just the actual figure. I don't have too much funds right now to do any commission work, but I will be supporting artists in the future. The idea of these playmats are to more so help the point of the playmats are to more so help improve the overall quality of the stream, the channel, things like that. So whatever, all proceeds that I get from this goes back into the channel so that I can do better stuff for you. And that's all it is. That's all it is, really, right? So it is a little AI generated. But there's obviously help of AI within this. But yeah, it is what it is. I think you need to mod someone to post links. Mine got taken down too. Dude, I don't know how to mod people. This is so difficult. How do I? All right, let's see if I can mod you, Richard. I don't even know how to do this. Oh, you guys, terrible. All right, let me see if I could do this. Hopefully my Discord doesn't like absolutely crap the bed. For the time being, you guys can enjoy my proxies. Invite to server. To be fair, I'm not even a moderator within the Discord itself, right? I don't even or send server link to friend. Use copy button. All right, let's see if this works. We're about to get an influx of personnel joining the. Bam. Does that work? I'm sick with it. I'm sick with it. Guys, I'm like a professional streamer. None of this part-time stuff. Oh, hopefully, did I die? No, I don't think you have powers. What do you mean I don't have powers? Just the brain. Huh. Yeah, you see, it's there. It's there. It's there. No, it works. Guys, I'm so smart. The new DM looks amazing. Oh, I love it, man. I love it, dude. It's so sick. It's even a better card. Anyways, let's start talking about the deck, because there's so much to talk about. Oh, I don't even know where to start. I genuinely don't. There's so many ideas I have and so much stuff to discuss and talk about it. So I think for the time being, until we either get disgusting with the list, let's start talking about this card. So Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant. The point of this card is that it establishes a unbelievably hope you had a magical Christmas, Matchy. I hope you had an amazing Christmas too, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the wishes. So the new Dark Magician, we'll talk about the new Dark Magician for now. The point of this specific card is to give the deck the most disgusting floor Dark Magician has ever seen to date. The way this card can generate a pseudo board, depending on what direction you want to go into, whether it's just establishing a Dragoon, a guarantee of a Dragoon on your opponent's turn, along with a Dark Burning Magic, a quick effect Harpy's Feather Duster, right, on your opponent's turn. That's just insane, right? The premise of this card, for those of you who don't know, is you reveal any spell card in your hand. So assuming it's this, assuming this is a Called by the Grave or whatever, a dead spell, you would reveal a spell card, you would summon this new Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant, and you would activate the Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant effect, and you would set your Gaze of Timaeus. Now, if you pass turn here on absolutely nothing, the idea is that Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant, can discard a random spell from your hand, right, to essentially be a quick effect Harpy's Feather Duster, and on top of that, you will Gaze of Timaeus, shuffling this back in order to summon your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, right? And the cool thing about this is that off one card, a quick effect Harpy's Feather Duster and any Dark Magician fusion is really, really, really strong. Now, the other aspect of this card is that it can go into a million different, there's a million different applications for it, right? Whether it's setting up something like Dark Magic Amulet, because now this card is actually ridiculous. Whether it's establishing a Dark Magician Triangle, whether it's building a board by itself off the back of like something like Bonds Between Teacher and Student. And the reason, oh, who's this? Kel PH just subscribed. Thank you, brother. The subscription notifications are a little weird, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hi, Matchy. Hi, chat. Love the mat. Where'd you get it? The mat you can find on my website, which is in the description, in the video description. We made it with the help of AI and my own work, I guess you could say. So it's a mix of everything together, which is really cool. And the cool thing about this is, one second, I gotta turn myself down. I hear myself way too loud. It's kind of annoying. That's only there to make sure that, yeah. So the cool thing about this is, specifically with Bonds, is with Bonds we're not opting to play Dark Burning Magic. Sorry, I know my thoughts are all over the place, but they will eventually convolute into, or not convolute, progress into one concrete idea. So these are kind of the three, or with Gaze of Timaeus, these are kind of the four most primary options, depending on what else. Amulet's low-key nice for hands where you've already opened everything and you just need to insulate versus hand traps. I agree. I 100% agree. The cool thing, so the reason why these four are the most primary options is for a few reasons. All four do various things for different reasons. For example, I will start with Gaze of Timaeus, is the most obvious one. It's essentially a free Dragoon on your opponent's turn, which is one of the most strongest interactions we have. Whether it's Dragoon or a Magia, the options are genuinely limitless. And the cool thing is that at very worst case, if the spell card you reveal for this card summoning to set Gaze isn't able to be utilized as a quick effect Harpy's Feather Duster, it is a free discard for your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which is really cool. So that's option number one. Option number two is Dark Magical Circle. Now, Dark Magical Circle by itself isn't particularly amazing. However, if you pair it with a Soul Servant, for example, if you open Soul Servant and your Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant, now Circle becomes infinitely better. Even if it's Dark Magician and it's Pharaoh Servant, Illusion of Chaos, and or Rod, if you pair this card with these two specifically, having Dark Magical Circle turn into a full-powered triangle with Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, alongside of Hieratic Seals, like that is also really, really incredible. However, there's another application to Circle that I feel like a lot of players aren't paying attention to. And I'll move these over to the side. And my opinion on Dark Magical Circle is somewhat of a controversial one. I'm not going to be maining this card, but I think this is going to be a side deck staple for Dark Magician at 1. And the reason why I think it's going to be a side deck staple is that going second, Circle becomes insane in this list. Hypothetically, if we open a dead spell and the Pharaoh Servant, going into a board, this is one of the best things we have for us. So assuming we open a generic spell like Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave can't start any plays by itself. It's a good interruption, but assuming we are going second, right? In this position, the beautiful thing about Dark Magical Circle, specifically Dark Magical Circle, is that if we side it in at 1, going second, we have a less chance of drawing it in our opening 6 cards, which means we have more likely chance to draw hand traps and more impactful non-engine and more impactful engine pieces that can be used to diminish and hinder our opponent from playing the game, which makes going second significantly easier. Now, the cool thing about Dark Magical Circle in the main deck at 1 copy is that if we reveal Dark Magician the Pharaoh Servant off a random spell, so we reveal Called by Summon Dark Magician the Pharaoh Servant, Dark Magician the Pharaoh Servant will set Dark Magical Circle. Now, here is the cool thing. The second we activate Dark Magical Circle, it poses a threat. Not even for searching our deck. I'm going to assume that we whiff all 3 cards. The cool thing about Dark Magical Circle here is now that we activated a spell, Dark Magician the Pharaoh Servant can banish itself in order to summon Dark Magician of Destruction. Now, the cool thing and the really underlooked application of this is the really cool application of this specifically is now we can choose which chain link we want. We can go either chain link 1 Circle, chain link 2 Dark Magician of Destruction, or vice versa. If our opponent has a problematic board or a problematic monster or a problematic spell, whatever the case is, and Dark Magician Circle needs to be the one that resolves for us to have a chance at playing into the board, we can go chain link 1 Dark Magical Circle, chain link 2 Dark Magician of Destruction, which means that they can't really, if they have an Omni Negate or whatever the case is, they can't deal with Dark Magical Circle without burning that Omni Negate. However, if our opponent, for example, has a Towers or there's nothing really on our opponent that's threatening us, rather there's something in their hand that's like, for example, an Ash Blossom, or if, whatever the case is, they're playing Draco Tail, they went into Arthalion, and they used Ash Blossom to fuse, so we know they have Ash Blossom in hand. The cool thing here is we can go chain link 1 Dark Magician of Destruction so that we don't get ashed on it. Chain link 2 Dark Magical Circle, so we essentially chain block our Dark Magician of Destruction, getting us into a Gaze of Timaeus or Magician's Rod or whatever the case is to be used to progress our game state forward, which is why these two, I think in combination, is absolutely disgusting. Which is why I think a card like Dark Magical Circle in the side deck at 1 copy is going to be a Dark Magician staple, in my opinion, at least going forward. It's something I've been testing with recently, and I am in love with Circle. I know there are some merits to playing it going first. For example, if you open it with Soul Servant, things like that, it kind of offers the same application going first. And additionally, on top of that, it's a free spell to send off a card like Magician Souls, which I think is also relatively underlooked, because you can go like Circle, then you can banish this into Demod, grab Souls, send your Dark Magician Girl. Now your Soul Servant's a draw 2. Magician Souls can send your Circle, you draw, and you gain advantage that way. So that's probably one of the most interesting applications in terms of Dark Magical Circle. Now, another card that I love the application of is Dark Magic Amulet. Now, why is Dark Magic Amulet good? Dark Magic Amulet is, once again, a card specifically for going first. And the cool thing about this is we have 1 card for going first and 1 card for going second, which means siding patterns can be incredibly clean with these 2 cards, right? And I think they work hand in hand with one another, which I think is really, really interesting. The only problem with Dark Magic Amulet is it's not a spell, so it doesn't turn on Demod. However, the idea of Dark Magic Amulet is now we always want to play this card at 3. Which means that we wanted to see it and not waste a search off Magician's Rod. But for example, if we open this and a card like Magician's Rod or whatever the case is, now Dark Magic Amulet is incredibly live. We just set it immediately, and now this card is essentially insulation for all of our plays. Obviously, Dark Magic Amulet can't really stop Droll, but it can stop every other play. Whether we want to go into DMod is one of our biggest choke points. So, you know, Dark Magic Amulet being able to insulate DMod from any negates is also unbelievably important. So these two cards I think go hand in hand, one for the main, one for the side. In my opinion, as things stand, I'm not too sure if I'll be playing Dark Magical Amulet, because it's just a card that I feel can be replaced by something else for the time being. I know Circle can be the same thing, but just Circle being a spell in itself is a little more attractive. I do enjoy Amulet. I know there's also Destined Rivals, which is an option, and it's something that I'm going to be experimenting with as well. I haven't had too much time to experiment with Destined Rivals, but I do see the application within it. So yeah, those three are the three main points, and the final card I want to talk about is your bonds between teacher and student. I really fear for this card's price. Yeah, it's this card's disgusting. The things it offers for DM in general is just unbelievable. All right, let me catch up with chat. The big debate should be Amulet versus Destined Rivals when you have gaze access. Oh, yeah, exactly. Literally mentioned that. I'm addicted to Bond right now. I'm starting to like it a lot in my test. Yeah, so I'll be talking about Bond between teacher and student and why I like it as well. Yep, it's now a board breaker. We have a really good going second card. They have to deal with Circle or Feral Servant, 100%. A card which will age like fine wine. I've said it for years. Yeah, for sure. What about Strength and Unity? I don't remember what that card is. I'm sorry. I really fear for this card's price. Yeah, the card's going to be disgustingly expensive. I'll assume it'll come with a more standard art form. Yeah, it will. It will. So it'll come in the same art form as like your regular thing, except, you know, the hype is all about over borders or out of borders. Is that what they're called? So our proxies are the outer border cards. Now, bonds between teacher and student is really cool, because now bonds between teacher and student, or the Feral Servant and any random spell with searching bonds between teacher and student, can establish a board by itself. Now, what I mean by that is something along the lines of revealing a random spell, summoning Dark Magician the Feral Servant, setting bonds, and bonds being an immediate spell card that you can activate. Now, the only thing I'm not a fan about bonds between teacher and student specifically is that we are forced to be playing Dark Magician Girl. Now, obviously, the board that this creates is relatively remarkable. We can set our Dark Burning Magic, but because I think in pure variants, this is hilarious. This is genuinely a funny thing to think about. But in pure variants, I don't think we'll be playing the vanilla anymore. We'll just be playing this one. However, in other variants that need to utilize cards like Mausoleum of White or whatever the case is, I think in that case, then we will be we'll be referring back to the vanilla. But in this position here, because I'm not playing the vanilla, or there's not enough access to get to the vanilla, I think a card like Dark Burning Magic doesn't see too much play. However, I do like the other version of Dark Burning Magic. I forget which one it is on the card. It's the one with Dark Magician Girl on the art. I think it's Dark Burning Magic. Is it? No, that's this one. Dark Magic Attack, Dark Burning Attack, I think it is. Dark Burning Attack is the one that's actually relatively decent, because immediately you can pose a threat on the board. Is that the one, Dark Burning Magic? Hold on. Or Dark Burning Attack? Dark Burning Attack. Which one's this one? Yeah, if you control Dark Magician Girl, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. That one. The one with Dark Magician Girl on the art. I think playing that, if you're playing Bonds, I think that's the play to do it. Because, yeah, not... Dark Burning Attack. Yeah, you guys are right. So the beautiful thing about this is you immediately, with a card like Feral Servant, set Bonds summons DMG, and you can automatically set Dark Burning Attack, which isn't a quick play, right? Because you can then activate it, oppose a threat to your opponent, and then you just link banish Dark Magician Girl into a card like Demod, and off you go. And that's an incredible aspect of the game. I know Aqua Cust in the DM Discord was the first person to like he made a list, and he was playing the Bonds package, and we were talking for a bit, and he's like, I only wish I was half joking about Dark Burning Attack, and unironically I do think it's totally viable. It is a brick, but I think if you're substituting the vanilla for Dark Burning Attack, I don't think it's that terrible of an idea. Matchy and DM, name a Noir iconic duo. Peanut butter and jelly. You see, I beat you. So it could be another side. It could absolutely be another side. You could even main it, because I think it's like, it's a one of. I think there's even interesting applications where if you open Dark Burning Attack with a card like Magician Souls, you can just go Magician Souls, summon DMG. Your opponent doesn't think it's a threat. Then you hit them with Dark Burning Attack. They immediately have to respect the card like that, and then you banish DMG into Demod, and off you go, right? And then Demod can even search this, and you're chilling. So big ups Aqua. Aqua's a gem, absolute unit of a player. So I think that's really cool. So yeah, those are I think the options. I don't think Dark Burning Attack sees play, but Dark Burning Magic sees play, but Dark Burning Attack with DMG, if you are playing the Bonds package, is really, really good. We still need a good link though, IMO. I think, can I be honest with you, man? I don't know if we do. I think the deck does so many things incredibly well. I think even as something as simple as Blue Eyes of Spirit with Eyes of Blue is more than enough of a link one that does everything we want it to do. The only issue with a card like Spirit with Eyes of Blue is that it doesn't make up for the faults of Rod if it gets interrupted. Now, what I mean by that is I want to get into something else, because there is a potential for playing the Blue Eyes variant of the full art. If we want to go fully Yugi and Kaiba hybrid, this is the list to do it. And the reason why I say this is if you open Dark Magician, the Feral Servant, and Magician's Rod, the cool thing you could do is normal Rod will search you your Soul Servant, right? Reveal Soul Servant, special summon Feral Servant searches you Circle, and this is, I think, like the dream Dark Magician end board. We're trying to make DM calm, so we should be playing. We should not be playing any of the brick packages. I don't disagree. Jose, I 100% don't disagree. This is more of a pure approach to those pure Dark Magician players who enjoy specifically pure. I think then it's viable. But I'll be talking about other engines and other ways shortly after providing this example. Here we are going to be activating Dark Magical Circle, chaining Soul Servant. Soul Servant will stack your Salvation. You'll reveal Salvation. Salvation will activate, setting Eternal Soul. Here what we can do is we can banish a Dark Magician, the Feral Servant, to summon a Dark Magician of Destruction. Dark Magician of Destruction's effect will search for our Magician Souls. This is engraved. Magician Souls effect can send your Dark Magician Girl. Playing Dark Magician Girl. Summoning Souls. Here, Souls can send Salvation for a draw 1. Doesn't matter. Then Servant banishes itself as well. It's for a draw 2. So at this point, we had what? Those Feral Servant and Rod, so we have 3 more cards in hand. That's fine. So at this point we have 6 cards in hand. See, this is the one problem I have with this playmat, is that there's no room on this thing. And here we can link off Rod into Spirit. Spirit Effect. Chaos Max is another 2 combo. So I'll talk about Chaos Max because I have my gripes with Chaos Max. Mausoleum of White, targeting anything, send DM. Obviously, keep in mind of your zones. Souls into Spirit. These 2 into Seals. And here we can go. Wait, what did I do? I did something wrong here. Oh, whoops. Oh, my bad. I'm not supposed to search souls. I'm an idiot. We're supposed to be searching directly into gaze. Apologies. So we'll minus 1 card from this. Right? We'll minus 1 card from this. Yeah, we're supposed to be searching directly into gaze. I think that's what it is. Yeah. So okay. Sorry. Apologies, chat. Sorry. So this is the state, right? And then because we didn't have souls for the second link off Spirit, so this is the state. Then we go gaze, targeting DM, shuffling back DM, summoning Dragon Knight, and then these 2 link off into Seals. Now, why is this so cool? We could probably even keep the vanilla engrave and then shuffle this back. I don't think it matters. And the cool thing about this, so that when we activate, so when we activate Eternal Soul, we can summon back our Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. And now Hieratic Seals can bounce itself to bounce anything, like during our opponent's turn. Seals can be used to bounce, for example, an important opponent's card back to their hand. And the cool thing is Seals can summon the new Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is a board wipe. I believe it's destroy all monsters on your opponent's side of the field, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let me refresh myself. Blue Eyes White Dragon. I can't find it. Oh no. Oh, here it is. If this card, if this card is special summon from the hand or deck, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Right? So I think that's really cool. And you can have a little Kaiba Yugi thing going, which I think is sick. Something I've seen is DMG from Shining Star can add it back from the graveyard with Miasma Necromancer and using it to summon, make it DMG. Yeah. The Dark Cry, that's been a lot of players have been experimenting with that for a while, which I think is really cool. Put the other Link one in the extra deck. Yeah, I did that. Torch. Sometimes it almost feels like Blue Eyes White Dragon and DM could be working in one deck. Blasphemy, I know. I mean, if there's a time to do it, it's now, which I think is really cool. To set up the triangle and have like a Yugi Kaiba thing going, that's hilarious. Full power triangle, Seals, summon the Blue Eyes for a board wipe. I think that's gross. If you don't want to summon the Blue Eyes, if you despise Kaiba so much to the point where you don't want to even look at his face, a cool thing we can do is summon something like Fallen of Albaz. Fallen of Albaz, discard a card, fusing itself and your opponent's monster, and then because you have the spare DM engrave, you can eventually go into something like Lubellion or Albion, and then into a Dragoon. So that's a really cool end board as well. But then this would require you to play an additional brick in Fallen of Albaz, which is something I'm not sure people really want to do, but I think it's really cool for the time being. Seals might get banned. No shot. No way. It's a good card, not ban worthy. Is also a damage step board breaker. Yeah, I mean, well, it's gonna be summoned with 0 attack, so it's not really doing too much. But it's definitely a cool card you can summon off Seals. And as a avid Hieratic Seals enjoyer within Dark Magician itself, I think just having a new target for seals is really gross. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, so that's kind of like my pure approach for Dark Magician. I don't know if I'd call the Albaz a brick. It's not a brick, but when you're playing the one of, you don't want to see it. I guess you don't want to see it, especially when you're playing 3 copies of Rod or 2 copies of Rod. I think my personal choice is going to be Diabellstar stuff as the main engine. I 100% agree. Now, there is something I do want to talk about within the Diabellstar engine. But I think that can be saved for later on in the live stream, because I want to talk about a theory in the Dark Magician Discord that a pretty decent player was beginning to talk about. Oh, there's actually one more thing I want to talk about before this. Except I don't remember the line. Shoot. I don't know if I remember the line. All right, we're gonna wing this thing. So the cool thing about the new Dark Magician support, more than anything, is in my Runic variant, I was talking about the possibility of playing Fiendsmith again with a card like Melody. Now the cool thing about this, it's really good. It's a really good Magnuma target too. Yeah, 100%. So the cool thing about some Melody is that any Runic spell in Magician's Rod gets you into full Fiendsmith combo, because you would summon Moonin and Rod overlay into Melody, and then those two link off into your Requiem, which I don't have here. I think I might have it here somewhere. Where could it be? Where could it be? Where could it be? Where could it be? Oh, I have a proxy Requiem here. That's hilarious. Haha, my proxy Requiem. So I'll keep this here for the time being. Now, there is another cool, funny card that one of the legends made with these new cards coming out. This card's been announced a long time ago, but it hasn't really seen. It hasn't been released in the TCG yet, and that card is Chronicle Sorceress. Now, why is Chronicle Sorceress so good? Is that within Engine and only Engine, Chronicle Sorceress bridges us into Fiendsmith. Now, I need to refresh myself on the line. I was going to make a video on this alone, but Gohan has done unreal work, because he is the guy who's pushed Fiendsmith DM the most, in my opinion. And he did funny stuff, like with Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant, and eventually what the idea is you get into the Pharaoh Servant. I believe it's Rod and the Pharaoh Servant, I believe is the line, or it's the Pharaoh Servant and any spell. I don't remember exactly. Or it's not Rod. I think it's Souls. So the idea is you reveal a random spell. You'd summon this. Effect of this would set Gaze. I think this is the line, if I do remember correctly. You would set Gaze. You would go Effect of Souls, sending DMG or DM, doesn't matter. It's Pharaoh Servant and any spell. Yes, you're right. So you don't even need souls. Yeah, so Pharaoh Servant and any spell. Okay, I think I got it. Pharaoh Servant, reveal any spell, special summon Pharaoh Servant. Pharaoh Servant, searching you. What is it? Is it... But then you need a spell to activate. Unless you're summoning bonds. You're doing bonds, right? I think it is. Gohan? Activating bonds. Activating bond, targeting DM, summoning. Oh, you don't target. Sorry, I don't think you target. Yeah, you don't target anything. Summoning DMG. And then we have DMG banish itself into DMod. Demod effect, searching you Chronicle Sorceress. Right? Yeah, I got it. Yeah, Chronicle Sorceress summons. You send your Soul Servant or whatever. You can send anything, it doesn't matter. And the cool thing here, you then fusion summon these two into a card like Chorozo. And then because they're 2 rank level 4s, you overlay them into Exciton Knight. And Exciton Knight is a light fiend that you then link off into Requiem. And that's the line. Yeah. You're amazing. Thank you, Gohan. Yeah. So that's the line. I think that's hilarious. And the fact that Pharaoh Servant can get you into full Fiendsmith combo by itself, that's pretty gross. Now, obviously, this card isn't out yet, but it's expected to be out by the time, I think it's already announced as well. It's coming out in Mace, I believe. And this card will be out by the time Pharaoh Servant comes out, so that this is all live, right? And you can pretty much, one card gets you into Pharaoh Servant, or gets you into full Fiendsmith combo. You have Soul Servant Engrave, whatever the case is, right? And this means you still have 4 cards in hand to play whatever you want. So it's Caesar and 4 cards in hand, which is, I think, really incredible. Yeah, Chorozo literally became our get out of jail free tuner. I think it's so sick. I think it's so dope. Branded engine is so big right now, it's not really worth it. I think with something I think Brandon could be used as a miniature board breaker engine. I'm still testing it. I don't want to say anything about it until I'm fully confident within the list. There's also, I took a minor step in a minor break in theory crafting the Branded engine, only because I took a minor break in the Branded engine specifically because this new card came out and I put all my attention into focus. Seems kind of silly to do all that to get Fiendsmith. So the thought is that through all of that though, you are loading your graveyard, you're establishing body on boards. So even if you don't get there, you have established some advantage. Obviously, you know, there are probably better places to go down, but there are more than enough interesting applications to go into. On top of that, Exciton is a fantastic board breaker as well. So if you're going, so it's also good going second, because if you are playing Bonds, like I mentioned, through this line going second, you have Pharaoh Servant, which summons itself. If you have another spell to discard, a free spell, you Harpy's Feather Duster their board. You activate Bonds. Bonds summons you DMG. DMG can search you Dark Burning Magic, which is another board wipe, or not Dark Burning Magic, Dark Burning Attack. Sorry, Dark Burning Attack, which is a board wipe then, there. Hard to play Bonds when you need to have, when you need to add 2 bricks. I don't disagree. I'm just saying that in this theory, one card gets you a spell wipe, a board wipe, while establishing a board. So it's not a terrible idea for playing into boards. And if you don't go down the Fiendsmith line, you're establishing, you know, Desiree, which is another board negate. But yeah, like, I mean, I'm not like, look, this is the beautiful thing about the new DM cards, is that there are no bad idea right now. There's no bad ideas right now. There's just so many things we can explore, so many things, opportunities that we can begin to talk about, and things like that. I think there's so much opportunity for testing and experimentation that I think everything's on the table and everything is worth talking about. Can we play Toy Box with it? What, the new support? Yeah, I mean, you can. I wouldn't be opposed to testing it. I'm not a fan of Toy Box for a multitude of reasons, mainly because the idea that it loses to so much is a little unattractive. Whether it's, you know, it loses to itself in terms of bricking because you play the 2 extra bricks. It loses to every single graveyard interruption. A card like Ghost Bell is heavily played in the format right now because of Draco Tail. It's just what's it called? Toy Box itself is a continuous spell, which is kind of unattractive. Wait, what are the new cards called? What new cards? The new Dark Magician? Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant. And then the new Blue Eyes, if we are playing the new Blue Eyes, is called Blue Eyes White Dragon, the Phantom Beast, I think, or something like that. I think it's cool that we can play both of these together, especially in a list. I think it's dope. This is obviously a hard to break because you're only summoning this off seals. What is something to think about? Now, I want to transition into a different avenue for DM because I wanted to talk about this for a while, and obviously this isn't too fleshed out, and I don't have all the cards for it, but I do want to talk about the application of Adventure. Now, the cool thing about this is there was a gentleman in the Dark Magician Discord, goes by the handle Remake, and he's been talking about this list for a while, and we actually talked about it very briefly, him and I, about the applications it has within Shining Sark specifically. Now, why is this so interesting? Just wait till they show us an out of frame retrain of DMG. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Toy Box's full Fiend Spin DM combo. Yeah, for sure, man. The cool thing about the interesting application of this, so there are supposed to be 2 more cards in this hypothetical pile. There needs to be another Rite. There needs to be a Faithful Adventurer, and Griffin and Dracoback, I think are the remaining cards in this package. But the hypothetical in this is that the biggest underlying issue with the Adventure Engine, despite it being a very high floor strategy, the biggest problem is that it turned off one of our strongest normal summons, Magician's Rod. However, the idea that Remake had in the DM Discord was, hey, what if I just played Adventure as a splashable package in Shining Sarcophagus? Now, obviously, Shining Sarcophagus also has a card like Gadget Trio. However, if we remove the idea of needing Gadget Trio and or Rod, there's enough gas in Shining Sark to warrant playing it without needing a normal summon. The cool thing about the Water Enchantress package is that there's also inherently a lot of spells, which means you can just play 3 copies of the Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant, and establish a lot of your board that way while playing into the Water Enchantress stuff. The cool thing about this, the thing I love about this more than anything, is that in this hypothetical, we are playing something like, let me just take all these cards out. I believe that's it, right? So something like this as a main deck. So assuming we have, 4 extra cards here, we could play 2 Rites, I guess, it doesn't matter. 2 Rites, 1 Wandering Griffin. And the cool thing about this, there's so many awesome applications to this list. And I'll tell you why there's so many interesting applications to this list. So in this hypothetical, we would be playing something like this. I would probably play Souls, IOC, probably multiple copies of Souls. And this is kind of the direction I would play this list in. Go down this road. And then I'd probably play Gaze, Gaze of Timaeus, and Secrets of Dark Magic. Something like this. Maybe a Soul Servant in here too, or whatever. Now, why is this engine so attractive? Well, the beautiful thing about the Water Enchantress package is that it sets up a free Omni Negate. And if you have a way to utilize Dracoback and Rite of Air and Faithful Adventurer off the back, if you have the ability to utilize them while gaining card advantage, it's really, really good. A card like Souls, for example, if you end up having the adventure package online, Foolish Burial as well. Yeah, this is just strictly engine, and then the non-engine or whatever, the sub-engine, you can talk about it later as well. The cool thing is a card like Magician's Souls can send both Faithful and Draco back, right, to draw 2 cards, and then the Draco back re-equips itself to, for example, Wandering Griffin or whatever the case is. The cool thing about it also is that the token itself is a way to play around and through Nibiru, assuming your Draco back your Wandering Griffin has been used its negate earlier in the combo to insulate your board, whatever the case is, whether it's your opponent hits you with Droll or whatever the case is. There are also really cool applications to this. Why? Because the Dark Magician, the Water Enchantress, wants to be inherently discarded to the graveyard, and you want to utilize its effect in the graveyard. Well, having something like Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice, sending Water Enchantress to the graveyard to summon itself, and then Water Enchantress activates her effect in the graveyard to then set up your adventure board, while your Dark Magician Girl gets you. Chat, like the stream. We've only got 5 likes. Oh, Alexander, thank you, man. And so the cool thing is Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice, then gets you Shining Sarcophagus, and then Water Enchantress can get you into the rest of your lines, whether it's Faithful or whatever the case is. And the cool thing about this is that, yeah, sure, you might miss out on Gaze, but, well, assuming if you open Gaze already, through this, Water Enchantress will activate and stuff. You can do all your adventure package stuff, setting up your token, your Wandering Griffin, your Draco back, all that stuff, and then you can just banish your DMG, summoning Dmod. Dmod can summon you Souls, then Souls sends your adventure cards, draw more cards, recycle your adventure cards, and then you extend from there, all without using your normal summon. And I think that's insane. And if you draw into this, well, then this is just incredible, because this is now your immediate access to Gaze or Secrets of Dark Magic. Now, if you want to one-up this strategy even more, I know this is a little messy because I don't have the rest of the adventure cards. Literally, before the stream, setting up the stream and writing the script for the stream, I thought in my head I had all the adventure cards, and I was like, oh, sweet, this is going to be so great. This morning when I was preparing the stream, I was like, what happened to the rest of my adventure cards? I was so upset. So the cool thing about this is that, yeah, we have a great discard for Water Enchantress off the back of Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice. Now, the even more attractive thing I love about this is the idea that if you open, for example, Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice, and Water Enchantress, if you want to generate even more value, I'm going to do hypotheticals here because I don't have the rest of the cards. Let's say, actually, this is a bad example. Let's say we go with Pharaoh Servant, because Dark Magician Girl is the easy answer, because Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice, she'll just discard for free, and off you go. Assuming we have a random spell, we can summon our Pharaoh's Dark Magician Servant, whatever. And the cool thing here is if we can get access into Dmod, so we'll banish this into Dmod. Right? Dmod can search for your Secrets of Dark Magic. Now, obviously, we can just get immediate value off Water Enchantress. Yeah, exactly. You can get, like, this is such a crazy draw engine. Now, if we hard make Secrets of Dark Magic, we can just go Secrets of Dark Magic, fusing these two into your... Do I play it? I don't play it in here. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is embarrassing. I should have it here. I think I should have it here. I don't have it here. Oh, no. Chat, we're so cooked. Of course I don't have it. Oh, no. Where is it? Could it be in here? I don't think why it would be here, though. Oh. See, I thought I was prepped. Turns out I'm not prepped at all. Into the Dark Magicians. So now, with Water Enchantress Engrave, we can activate Water Enchantress, setting up your right, setting up your Griffin. Hey, Luca, how's it going? How's it going, guys? The Dark Magicians. Into the Dark Magicians. And now, Water Enchantress not only gets you an Omni Negate, but through all this, the Dark Magicians draws you a billion cards. And if you open, for example, Magician of Souls, you draw even more cards. If you open Soul Servant, you draw even more cards. So it's like, imagine a card with Pharaoh Servant. Pharaoh Servant ended up setting you, Gaze of Timaeus. Or, it doesn't matter. We'll set you Gaze of Timaeus. You draw into more cards, then you draw into Shining Sark. Shining Sark, you activate Shining Sark, and you even push this even further. I think this list is so unbelievable. The biggest downside of mixing, because I will hand on the Bible, I'll say that I really, really push the idea of Water Enchantress in DM, specifically with Runic. I played a lot of Water Enchantress with Runic. And the idea was, hey, the biggest problem was I really wanted a normal summon. However, now when we play cards that substitute our normal summon, whether it's Pharaoh Servant, Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice, Shining Sark, Future Silence, like we play 12 copies of this. This substitutes for our normal summon. And then we have a spell heavy engine that turns on Pharaoh Servant all the time. I genuinely think this engine is unreal. So shout out Remake for bringing it back to light. I know I experimented with it before, and I kind of put it to the side, and I suppressed those ideas for a while. And I'm so happy he brought it up, because it opened up a whole flood of new ideas when it comes to how we can approach the Pharaoh Servant. So I think that was amazing. So Remake, if you're watching this, thank you so much, because your idea genuinely sparked a lot of interest for me. And I think, I truly believe that this card, this engine itself is really, really, really remarkable. Not to mention, we can get more draws off Soul Servant if you keep Shining Sark. Yeah, 100%. Into the Dark Magicians. Hey, man, how are you doing? Luca, I'm great, man. How are you, man? We're having a great stream so far. We're enjoying ourselves. Matchy, how you doing, King? I'm doing great, man. How are you, brother? Hope you cook with the new DM. I hope I do too. Do you think DM could reach a playable level? I'm not even talking about tiered. Like, could it be Rogue? Dude, Luca, like, call it cope, call it not cope. I think this deck has a legitimate chance of seeing competitive success. I maybe not to the level of win a YCS. If it's somebody's day, sure. I just think this engine genuinely offers so much. I really do. I think this, it's these new cards are remarkable. I don't know. You know what it could be though? I think as like a community, maybe we gotta chill just a smidge, because we haven't been accustomed to good cards in so long, right? We haven't had good cards for so long, so we might be overestimating the power of these cards. That being said, everything I've seen from them so far, all the ideas and the theories that came from these new cards, I don't see why not. I don't see why not that if it's on somebody's day, they can top a YCS with this. Inevitable Dark Magician Mitsurugi. I think that's the low-hanging fruit. Yugi Light, like, I'll be straight up honest with you. I'm unironically, like, I don't see why not. It's so free. The Mitsurugi engine just plays by itself so well. You can do your DM stuff, and then it's the biggest issue I have with Mitsurugi, and the reason why I'm calling for Habakiri to be banned, is the idea that you can throw 3 or 4 hand traps at Yami, or 3 hand traps at Ryzeal, or 3 hand traps at any deck, and they just go reveal Habakiri. And I think it can be the same logic here. It really can. You know, you do all your DM stuff. They throw a million hand traps at you. You end on what? You can end on Pharaoh Servant, set Gaze, and then you just go reveal Habakiri. I think that's disgusting. Like, yeah. Now we're cooking. Yeah, real. I think the biggest thing the Adventure Engine offers is the fact that you can functionally play around 18 spell cards if you count Enchantress as a spell, basically. It's good synergy. I 100% agree. And that's where I think the logic came from for Remake himself. With being able to deep draw with Adventure, you can dig for stuff like Amino, Iwado, which will stay on the field due to Rite of Aramesir. Yeah, I think that could be interesting. It's such a corny deck. Mitsurugi, 100%. I despise it. I think it's so... It's not that it's a poorly designed deck. It's the idea that, like... a lot of DM players have been so furious with Demod splash ability. It's such a problem. Habakiri is such a problem. And you know what? A card like Herald is going to die for Habakiri's sins. And it feels so bad because Herald is being the bridge for Yummy DM would be so cool and so interesting, and it's so miserable that Mitsurugi is going to kill Herald and potentially Yummy DM. Wait, Amano seems kind of crazy. Yeah, for real. Yeah, so that's the Adventure Engine. It'd be hilarious. Yeah, so that's the Adventure Engine. Now, I want to talk about the Diabellstar engine, just a little bit, because I think the Diabellstar engine is so sick. What it offers in general is just unreal on every aspect of what the post support wants to do. So here's the underlying issue I have with other engines specifically. What about White Forest to get Diabellstar? So, Arashana? I can't. Sorry if I say that. Is a badly designed flood that is a search and negate that needed to go ages ago. See, yeah. I mean, it's an older card that isn't amazingly designed, but it's also Herald hasn't done any like. Herald as an end board piece for Yummy is a strong end board piece, right? And I think if Herald in a vacuum was just the end board piece for Yummy, and if it's approached that way, how it's just an Omni negate and it's a Dark Law like Floodgate effect, that's a really strong card, but I don't think it's as crazy and oppressive as a lot of people think, because you can just any normal summon in the game can just beat over it and you're immediately chilling. The issue with Herald is that it bridges for free into Mitsurugi, and I think with Mitsurugi's structure deck coming out, and the new support Mitsurugi's getting, it's inevitable that Herald will get banned. But yeah, I think Herald is it's a strong card. I don't think Herald's ever been broken to the point of being banned. I think it's just being banned because it's essentially a free bridge in the best deck in the game. So yeah, back to that's my take on Herald, at least. I could be wrong, and that's totally fair if you disagree. So the thing I want to encourage people, a lot of people, is the idea that that'd be cool. I want to talk about because I think something that a lot of people are doing is they are throwing a lot of ideas into building Dark Magician decks. Dark Magician decks together with the new support. Now, the thing I want to encourage players to think about is the idea that what makes a good DM list post support is having two engines that bridge into each other. And what I mean is that the biggest flaw I have with, for example, something like Branded, I know I'm experimenting with branded right now, and it's really, I'm really struggling with it. I'm really struggling to find a way to make it work. The problem is that it's very awkward to bridge DM into branded, whereas it's very easy to bridge branded into DM. The attractive thing about Shining Sark is that we are able to bridge DM into Shining Sark, and we're able to bridge Shining Sark into DM. The beautiful thing about a Diabellstar is that we're also Neogalactic. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. Like Feral Imps got banned because it's gonna bridge into Mitsu. Herald's gonna be banned because it can bridge into Mitsu. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing. It's, you know, that's what it is. Mitsu's so good that it kills other decks, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and I don't agree. The cool thing is, the thing I love about Diabellstar, because I keep coming back to Diabellstar, is that I love the idea how DM can bridge into Diabellstar and Diabellstar can bridge into DM. Now, the one thing, where was I going with this? I forgot where I was going with this. I was gonna bridge this conversation to talking about Chaos Max. I don't know how. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I guess we'll just skip over to just talking about Chaos Max. A lot of players are now experimenting with Chaos Max. I have a unbelievable amount of issues with Chaos Max, primarily being the idea that Chaos Max is a lock that you have to perform on your opponent's turn. You get through it within your Dark Magician combo, and the idea of Chaos Max is you only exclusively use Dark Magician to get into your Chaos Max lock. The underlying issue with Chaos Max is that the direction of I'll get into that. Arash, sorry. The underlying issue is that your opponent is playing on your turn as well, which makes Chaos Max void. The idea is you want to essentially stop your opponent from playing the game completely with Chaos Max, but if your opponent is playing on your turn, setting up a half board, the Chaos Max lock isn't doing anything on your opponent's turn, which really sucks. I guess I could showcase how DM bridges into Diabellstar. I haven't done that on my channel yet, but I could show you. And Diabellstar is definitely my favorite way to play the list. Let me just organize all my cards real quick so I could showcase this properly. So we're not playing secrets. We're playing one of this. For the time being, I'll remove Feral Servant. Actually, we'll keep Feral Servant here. It's fine. 1, 2, 3. So the main card that we need in the bridge is Mausoleum. It's one of the most important cards in the bridge. We play the one vanilla here. We don't play this. We don't play this. I guess you could play Village. Now let's see if I remember how to do this. That's the problem. I've been testing so much with the new cards, I might forget the bridge. So the bridge here. So everyone knows the bridge with Diabellstar and DM is the idea that Diabellstar just goes into DMod, and that's how it bridges into Dark Magician. Now the beautiful thing about this engine. Oh shit. Black Witch OP2. Oh my god, Jose, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you so much, my guy. Absolute GOAT. Oh, I love you, dude. Thank you. That means so much to me, man. So the idea, I think IOC can be cut. Yeah, I think IOC, it just has interesting applications where it can fix your hand a little bit. Whether it's like if you open Mausoleum, if you open, you one off Dark Magical Circle, if you open, the vanilla DM or whatever the case is, it just has interesting applications for what's the word I'm looking for? For fixing your hand, essentially. I think it's the first time the combo is shown outside of the Discord. Yeah, Torch. So this combo was discovered by Torch, at least the raw version of the combo. I went in and me and Torch worked on it a little bit back and forth, and I think that this is the way I would approach this new combo. Got any grapes? Matchy, what's up, Goat? How you doing, grapes? And yeah, so this is essentially the combo. Rod and Souls gets you into your Dia Bellstar line. So the idea is you start with Dark Magician's Rod. Oh, got any grapes? Became a member. Dude, thank you so much. I think you might be, no, you're actually the second member of all time. we never had any members. But yo, thank you so much, got any grapes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. You're amazing. So Magician's Rod will activate its effect. You will search your Gaze of Timaeus. Now here we can go Magician Souls. Wait, how did it go? Oh yeah, I got it. Magician Souls, sending your Dia Bellstar, the Black Witch, to the graveyard with the beautiful alt art. I have the best friends in the world. They blessed me with this as a wedding gift, so I can't thank them enough. I love this alt art. I can't thank enough. Best friends in the whole wide world. So we summon Magician Souls by sending Dia Bellstar to the graveyard. We will link off Magician's Rod into Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Spirit with Eyes of Blue will search for Mausoleum. We will activate Mausoleum. Mausoleum will send Dark Magician to the graveyard. And here we can go Magician Souls, send Mausoleum for an extra card. Right? Oh my god, grapes. Chill, bro. You don't need to do that. I thank you, dude. You could just watch, eh? This is all for free, but dude, I appreciate you so much, man. You're incredible, dude. You're too kind. Souls, send Mausoleum White to draw an extra card. We can then link off Souls. Only 2 members. Grapes, don't do it, man. You don't need to do it, man. I promise you don't need to do it. Save your money. Christmas was heavy. Christmas was heavy, Grapes. Don't do it. I beg you. You don't need to do it, man. You're amazing. I can't thank you enough. Like, that's the thing. I can't express my thanks enough if you even consider doing that. So we link off Souls into Spirit. We link off the 2 Spirit Dragons into Hieratic Seals. And now we showcase the best Dark Magician fusion monster post support. We will activate Gaze of Timaeus, targeting your Dark Magician. Oh my god, grapes. Oh, that's not grapes. That's it's not, okay, sick. Ice one CK. Thank you so much, dude. You activate your Gaze of Timaeus to summon your Master of Chaos, the best spellcaster post Dark Magician support. This is insane. You're amazing, brother. Thank you so much, dude. I love you so much. Master of Chaos effect will summon you your Dia Bellstar, the Black Witch. Dia Bellstar's effect will set you your Deception. Now, here is the beautiful thing about the combo. Torch and I have been Matt, do you have a link in the for the playmat? It's in my description. It's from my own store. We made it ourselves. You know, the funds will go into upgrading the store, upgrading the content in general. But yeah, you can get this beautiful Dark Magician Girl playmat from my store. The link's in the description. So once we're in this position, Torch and I, if Torch is here, Torch and I have been arguing back and forth. Not really arguing, more like Torch is one of the brightest members in the DM Discord. And we've been at lengthy discussions talking about this specific interaction. So we will be activating Deception, the Sinful Spoils. Now, Torch is a believer that keeping Hieratic Seals on the field is very important because of how strong the bounce is. With the release of the new Blue Eyes card, if we are playing the extra brick, keeping the bounce for your opponent's turn and then summoning a Blue Eyes White Dragon, the Phantom of Destruction, to nuke the board is really, really incredible. Now, the cool thing here is, in my opinion, depending on what decks we'll be seeing, depending on what decks we'll be seeing play at the time of this release, I think Mitsurugi is going to be one of the best decks in the game. Which means, if I'm playing Mitsurugi, I want to have an in-engine way to deal with Mitsurugi in one aspect or another. So what I've been doing and what I've been telling Torch that I've been enjoying a lot. Now, Torch Torch, like I mentioned, will keep Herodic Seals on the board, and he thinks that summoning the new Blue Eyes or summoning or the bounce effect is really, really strong. For me, I love the idea of Deception tributing the seals, right? Tributing the seals to search your Hallowed Azamina. Now, the reason why I do this is because now Herodic Seals will activate, and Herodic Seals will automatically summon me my Bystial Magnamut. Now, why is this so good? Is that in a format with Mitsurugi on the field, mid-combo, in the middle of our combo, we have a way to access a Bystial. And a Bystial into Mitsurugi specifically is so crazy, right? So in combo, mid-combo, we are able to establish one of the strongest interruptions into the best deck in the game. So I think we're explaining it right now. This is literally the bridge. We bridged DM into Diabellstar within this combo. So with mid-combo, we are able to go Deception, Tribute Seals, Summoning Mag, and Mag guarantees us Bystial Druid Swarm into the best deck in the game, which is Mitsurugi, right? So a way to search a Bystial mid-combo while establishing value of a card like Deception for Hollowed, I think is so ridiculous, right? Yeah, dump Diabell, buy souls. So yeah, the idea is, I'll quickly go over to the state where we were in. Rod and Souls bridges into Diabellstar because Rod normal summons Rod, searches you Gaze. Souls dumps Diabellstar. You link off Rod into Mausoleum. Mausoleum dumps DM. Souls sends Mausoleum for an extra draw. Souls links off into Spirit. Both link off into Seals. You Gaze of Timaeus, summoning Master of Chaos, the best extra deck monster, reviving Diabellstar. I hope that works. Did you get that? Did we get that? I'll do it again. I'll do it again after. So yeah. So like I said, the beautiful thing here is if Deception tributes Seals, summoning a Bystial Magnamut, searching your Bystial Druid Swarm as a means of having a unbelievably strong interruption into Mitsurugi, I think is really, really strong. And I think there's a little more value there than saving the Seals bounce for your opponent's turn. But that's my opinion. Torch and I have been going back and forth about this for a long time. In most aspects, I would agree with Torch. I just think because Mitsurugi is such a prevalent deck, having seals to generate us a Bystial into Mitsurugi, I think is just really strong. But yeah, Torch is a brilliant player. He's actually unbelievable as a guy too. So when we're in this position, here's another cool thing about this whole combo. And I'll get into it a little later. Actually, I'll get into it now. The beautiful thing is later on in the combo, I'll talk about this later. Once we're in this position, we can do something like go Hallowed Azamina, sending Deception, searching for, or special summoning Rusiliago. Rusiliago's effect searches you your wanted. And now we can do all of our funny stuff like Diabellstar Banish, summoning Dmod. And Dmod's effect can get you into your Gaze, your second copy of Gaze. Actually, I don't like going directly into my second copy of Gaze. Yeah. What you do depends on the matchup for sure. For sure, Alex is also right. I think it's just the ability of being able to choose is unreal. Because the cool thing is in that game state, Deception can send Master of Chaos. Deception can send Diabellstar after it goes into Dmod. Like, there's so many applications for what you can choose to go into, what Deception can send, because you're so far ahead. Yeah, the cool thing is off a Dark Magician, the Destruction, you can just go directly into Gaze. However, something I've been enjoying a lot is the idea of just going Soul Servant. And now the Soul Servant will just stack the Gaze of Timaeus back into the extra deck. However, now we have an even better option, because we can just go Soul Servant, stacking Dark Magician. Banishing Soul Servant, Dark Magician, revealing Wanted, summoning Pharaoh Servant. Pharaoh Servant can now set your second copy of Gaze. And now the cool thing here is if we have a spell in hand after all of this, right? We can just have a free Dark Burning Magic attack. Or a free quick effect Harpy's Feather Duster. I can't English, sorry. And then we link these two off into your... the cool thing here, believe it or not... Actually, no, we can't do it. Never mind. I mean, if we had another, like, a level 12 Synchro, we can go into Chorozo and go into a level 12 Synchro or a level 10 Synchro off Mag, right? So we can just do something like this and go into a Dispatter halfway through the combo as well, right? So like this could be a Dispatter as well. So we can fuse these two into Chorozo, and then these two can go into, I don't have it with me right now, but it can go into a, I should have it here actually. Bestial Dispata, where are you? Bestial Dispatter. And Dispatter can be used as another interruption. And the cool thing about Dispatter is we can just summon back Diabellstar for free. Yippee. And then here we can go into these two, into an IP. Right? And then we can go Hollow Azmina targeting Rusliago. Back, oh sorry, this goes back to the extra deck. And then we go activate Hollow, Chain Wanted, searching you your second Diabellstar. And now, or second Diabellstar, sorry. And now here is the really cool thing that I think you guys completely overlooked. And this is something Torch noticed to me because I know I overlooked it. No, you can use both effects. And now here's something that's really cool because Torch noticed this. And I never noticed this and my head exploded. The cool thing is through all of this, if we want, right? Do you remember how we summoned Diabellstar both times? We summoned her from the Banish and directly from the graveyard. We have not yet summoned Diabellstar via her own effect. Which means if we wanted to extend even further, we can just use Diabellstar's own effect to summon her. Now, she won't get her effect, but as an extender, it's pretty incredible. Like, she hasn't been summoned herself. So it's like, if we need an additional extender on top of all of this, Diabellstar can be used as her own extender. And then, on top of all this, we can banish your Wanted, putting Deception to the bottom of the deck, and then drawing an extra card. And remember, this was all started off Magician's Rod and Magician's Souls, which means we still have 3 more cards in hand. That's Rod and Souls. This is what Rod and Souls gets you now. Which is so stupid. We're so spoiled. This is unreal. Magician's Rod and Magician's Souls. And like, this is even crazier. Gaze of Timaeus, just targeting Demod into Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. And then what you can do here is if you opened a spell, right? If you opened a spell, DM can discard the spell to board wipe the opponent. Dragoon can, after you do that, you can do something like Dragoon send Diabellstar, tributing DM, summoning Diabellstar, setting Wanted for follow-up, as if you didn't need that already, whatever, or set Deception for follow-up. And then IP goes into Selene. Selene revives your Dragoon. Another interruption, you have a Druid Swarm. And the cool thing is now with Druid Swarm, like remember how we searched Druid Swarm off the back of if Rod and Souls get negated, what are your lines? I'll show you. And if what's it called? The cool thing about this spatter is now we can pick which version of for hand size limit. We'll set a card Torch, it's fine. Or we'll summon Diabellstar in the end phase, it doesn't matter. The cool thing is we can pick which Dispatter effect we want. Do we want, which one's more valuable, the Omni Negate or the destruction. Because if it's the destruction, we can just go, if it's one or the other, Druid Swarm can either banish from our graveyard or our opponent's graveyard to fill which interruption we want Dispatter to have. Which I think is crazy. And it gets you the new DM. Right? That's how much advantage. It's actually unbelievable. It's unreal. Let me catch up on chat. Don't we the materials for the rank 8 XYZ mock and demod? Yeah. Oh, I guess you can. You can go into a rank 8 XYZ. I didn't even think about that. But extra deck is so tight. But like, yeah, you you can absolutely do that. That's so funny. Guardian Chimera pop 2 in the battle phase for a bigger push. You could also set secrets rather than gaze for a new DM card. Yeah, the only problem is I'm slowly moving away from secrets. I think secrets has a really awesome amount of application. You could let the Dragoon banish itself and then gaze summon it back with the. Yeah, you could even do that. You can, yeah, 100%. You could probably even do that. That's crazy. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how much advantage this like Rod and Souls now gets you. It's mind-boggling to me. Like, this is insane. This is actually insane. Wait, how can you only activate one effect of Pharaoh Servant? No. Yeah, so you summon it. Wait, what are we talking about? Pharaoh Servant? I'll let you guys hash that out. You can do cool stuff with Pharaoh Servant and Master Duel. You can do cool stuff with Pharaoh Servant everywhere. I think this is awesome. Tier support. I missed the line, how does DM bridge into Witch? Okay, I'll show you. Obviously, I won't show the whole line because the whole line is a little ridiculous, as you just saw there. But the idea is Rod Souls. Rod Souls or Rod IOC. Rod Souls or IOC, or I think even Soul Servant with these two can get you there as well. But because yeah, Soul Servant will just search the other piece. No, Rod and Soul Servant can't get you there, but Souls and Soul Servant can. So I'll show you the line. So the idea is normal summon Rod. Rod will search Gaze. Magician Soul's effect will send Diabellstar, summoning Souls. Then link off Rod into Spirit. Spirit effect. Search Mausoleum. Activate Mausoleum. Target Rod or Spirit. Send DM. Link off Souls into Spirit. Link off into Seals. Gaze of Timaeus targeting DM Engrave. Shuffling it back. Summon Master of Chaos. Master of Chaos effect. Revive Diabellstar. Diabellstar effect. Set Deception. And there's the line. And then off you go. Now, obviously, I like the idea of Deception sending Seals, but Torch likes the idea of keeping Seals as a bounce. Cool thing you can do as well is if you banish, as Alex just mentioned earlier in my comment section, banishing Diabellstar for Demod. Demod searching you, you can go like Pharaoh Servant, whatever the case is, because after this, right, Deception can send something which gets you hollowed. Which, if you have like a hand trap that you don't need, like a Charmy or something, you can tribute that for hollowed, and then now you immediately have a spell to reveal, and then you can summon Pharaoh Servant, and Pharaoh Servant can search Gaze that way. If you want to do that. If not, you can just go directly into Soul Servant, whatever the case is. But before we do that, what we can do is we can do something like overlay these two for a random XYZ level 8, a rank 8 XYZ. So that's another cool application that we really haven't thought about, right? I quit after being too busy due to promotion at work, but damn, the new stuff makes me want to come back. Congratulations at work, your promotion, dude. That's all you. It's huge. That's huge. Miasma Dmod pop dumps gaze change the game for DM players or Dmod. Oh, Miasma Dark Magician of Destruction, Dark Magician Pharaoh Server, and Gaze changed the game for DM players. Dude, changed everything. In this version, you only play one DM in the Diabellstar engine, or do you have Prime? Just so I'm not a lot of players do this, and I feel like it's not fair for me to say, hey, you're playing the list wrong, or hey, you're not playing the list optimally, because I think like I am the number one preacher for, hey, right now is the best time to experiment. Right now is the best time to experiment with whatever you want. My only issue with mixing engines like that is I don't think it's needed. I think like Diabellstar offers so much with so little, and right now I don't think the deck is in a position where especially with Pharaoh Servant, I don't think the deck is in a position where it needs help pushing into boards. I think what the advantage of playing a compact engine like Diabellstar is that you're able to play fun non-engine. For example, like I've been experimenting with K9. I have it here in my pile already sleeved up. In a lot of my test games, I've been experimenting with K9 as a sub engine. Essentially, obviously, I don't think this is the case now. I'd probably cut it because I want to play something with more spells for Pharaoh Servant. But I was experimenting with K9 as a insane hand trap, playing stuff like maining Retaliating Sea into Draco Tail, which I think is really strong because Draco Tail is the most popular deck. More important is playing, I think, the best hand trap in the game right now, which is Impulse. Playing a deck like Primite doesn't allow you to play Impulse, and I think if you just stick to Diabellstar as an engine, you're able to play Impulse. And I think what Impulse offers, it offers more in terms of stopping your opponents playing the game than Primite does, at least going second, which I think is what do we remove for Dispatter? Matthew, we have a problem with who we remove for Dispatter. I don't know, dude. There's so many ideas. I know right now this extra deck is what, 17 cards, I think it is. So what we're thinking about. Unironically, like I love Topologic, but maybe Topologic sees an option to be cut. The interesting thing I love about Topologic, though, this is a little niche, but I love it so much, is there are so many times in the grind game where I haven't made Master of Chaos, or you burn through Gaze or whatever the case is. Making Master of Chaos under Topologic Bomber Dragon, right? Allowing you to do something like, if you have in the grind game, right? If you get here, the cool thing is you can go like Master of Chaos under Topologic Bomber Dragon, Chainlink 1 Topologic, Chainlink 2 Master of Chaos, summoning back Dragoon, Topologic Bomber Dragon destroys Master of Chaos, right? And then nukes the board, and then Master of Chaos can trigger in Grave to add back a spell, right? And Master of Chaos will add back a spell for follow-up. And there's like such little interactions like that I love. With Topologic Bomber Dragon. Dark Magician the Dragonite is this or Magi Dragon. The reason why I like Dark Magician the Dragonite so much is because it's DM board wiping 600 times and adding back stuff. Dude, it's crazy. It's so sick. Yeah, because you could do stuff like yeah, you could even, oh my god, it's so funny, because you could go Topologic Bomber Dragon, Master of Chaos, summon on Topologic Bomber Dragon, go Chainlink 1 Bomber Dragon, Chainlink 2 Master of Chaos, summoning Dragoon, destroying this, adding back, and then in a new Chainlink 1 Topologic Bomber Dragon for another board wipe, and then Master of Chaos for another spell back, right? So I think that's hilarious. You can do that twice in back-to-back chains. It's hilarious. Yeah, so Dark Magician the Dragonite I think is really cool. I think Magi Dragon, like, I think it's this or Magi Dragon in the list, in the extra deck. The only problem is this is DM Engrave, which I think is really attractive about this card. I think your standard Azamina stuff. SP is, you know, it's just a little free. It's generic enough to the point where it's free. Dragoon, I'm still contemplating on whether or not I want to play this at 1 or 2. Right now I have it at 2, but I think you can get away with it at 1. AFD, I love the village lock. I think I've been adamant on the idea of potentially siding in AFD, and the reason for that is I think going first game 1, our end board is just as strong, and going second game 1, we're never getting into village anyways, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. Dark Magicians, I don't think I play in this list. I put Dark Magicians here because I was testing with the adventure stuff. For those of you who are new, the adventure stuff is a new way I'm going to be experimenting to play the list, because I think this is this engine can be crazy with the new Pharaoh Servant. So yeah, Dark Magicians I probably put to the side. Dispatter is a new development. I'm still thinking about it. Selene is a must. IP is a must. Seals is a must. Spirits are a must. Demod, I play 1 Demod. I don't play 2. I don't think you need to. The better I got with the deck, the less I needed the second Demod. I encourage people to just keep practicing with the deck. Eventually, you'll get to a point where a 1 Demod is more than enough. Even if Demod gets banished, I think having access to Pharaoh Servant, having access to the vanilla as well within this list, it makes Demod even less mandatory. So I think it's playing it at 1 is more than fine. Master of Chaos is mandatory because it's the bridge into thing. And then Chorozo, I think, yeah. I don't know what it is that. Maybe we cut SP, or we cut 1 Dragoon. Maybe we cut Topologic. I don't know. It'd probably be like Topologic, the 1 Dragoon, and or SP. I think is probably the three that we can cut for space, if like the flex spots. And then the rest are kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These 11 are mandatory in Azamina DM, and then you can pick whatever you want to play else, right? I think going forward I'll play 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Probably play that, something like that. How many copies of Gaze are you playing? I'm playing 2. And then the cool thing here is like we can even do something like side these two in, right? Because going first, like if we can guarantee ourselves going first in game 2 and 3, and in combo go into village, I think that's dumb. I think that's so free. IP into Selene to reset Dragoon is nice when you have the hand economy. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I'm in love with Azamina DM. I think what Azamina DM just offers right now is unreal. Like I said, other variants I want to test. I really want to test the adventure package with Shining Sark. I think that's going to be unbelievable to play and experiment with. Yeah, I think remake. Is it remake or revoke? I think it's remake. Remake in the Discord. Yeah, I know remake is testing it a lot, and I love what he has to offer. What Gohan and Francis are doing with Yummy DM is also unreal. I know in the Discord there's so many awesome variants. Richard is playing Draco Tail. Sir Richard is playing Draco Tail Shining Sark right now in the DM Discord, and that looks really interesting. Yeah. While I think Topologic is one of the best end board pieces, I don't think it's mandatory. I don't think it's mandatory either. Torch, I don't think it's mandatory either. Can I show my list? I can show you what my list looks like right now, for sure. With Pharaoh Servant or without Pharaoh Servant, because I think that's important. Without Pharaoh's Servant, I think my list looks like this. In testing, but like obviously this is so like subject to change. I'll assume with Pharaoh's Servant because we're talking about it now. So it'll be 3 Pharaoh's Servant, 1 DM, 3 rods, and then I play. What do I play? 2 souls, 1 IOC, and then we play 2 soul servants. We don't play the 3rd rod. We don't play the 3rd souls. 2 gaze. Mausoleum as a pseudo DM card. Play 3 copies of Witch. 3 Wanteds, 2 Deceptions, 1 Hollowed, and then 2 Bestials. That's it for main deck. It's not main deck, but then the rest is non-engine. The rest is non-engine. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26. So you have 14 slots for non-engine. 93 people watching and only 55 likes. The math ain't mathing. That's all right, Alex. Thank you, though. Appreciate you for looking out for me, man. You're a goat. Does anyone have a link to the DM Discord? It's at the top of the stream. Yeah. So what are we feeling about Souls and Pharaoh's Servant? I'm cutting it down to 1. So I'm playing it at 2 right now. I think Soul still has enough application where it's warranted to playing at 2. I really like 3 rods. Yeah, this is the approach I would take when it comes to building Azamina DM right now. And then the extra deck is up for discussion. Yeah, and this is by far my favorite way to play the deck. I think it's unreal. And the cool thing here about this is like you can play more spells as board breakers. Whether you want to play something like Super Poly, but Super Poly you don't have extra deck space. You can play something like Dark Ruler No More, or I know Loza said he's been talking about Forbidden Chalice as an option, which I think could be an interesting approach to the deck. I gotta get back into the Discord, DM Discord. I missed the peeps. Yeah, we missed you too, brother. So yeah, I think that's fine. Then you play a Prethla of non-engine. So if I'm playing 14 non-engine, I don't know. I think you're playing 3 Charmies, Impulse, Ash, and then whatever else you want. That's 12. Then you could play like a, Nib and play 41, something like that. So Matchy, do you want to get a game in? It is a blizzard here in Toronto today, so I need to go do some work around the house. But I'm down. I'm down to play later if I have time. Torch, I'll ping you on Discord. I know there was another player who wanted to play today as well, so I'll ping him as well. Chalice in the big 2026. Oh, for sure. Souls is a good bridge into Diabellstar, so it's kind of hard to just drop it right now. No, yeah, I don't disagree, but like the idea is, yeah, the idea is that you now have Pharaoh's Servant as well. No, but maybe you're right, dude. Maybe for this, maybe because of that bridge, you just play 3 souls and 2 rod again. Yeah, maybe you're right. I think that is correct. On second thought, I don't know. I think there's just so much testing to still go on, and talk about and theory craft. But I think you're right, Sir Richard. I think you're right. Chalice Droplet would be interesting. I think Droplet would actually go crazy in this list because there's so many quick plays. I think there's so many quick plays. Even like Hollow Azamina or whatever else is. You inherently search Mausoleum. The cool thing also about Droplet is if we play Droplet and we go Rod into, you go into Rod and Souls or whatever the case is. Let's say you're playing Yummy and you go Rod into Rod Souls. If you end up linking into Spirit and you're locked and you have no way to clear the Spirit, you have no way to clear the Spirit, you can just Droplet it away into a Yummy board, which I think is great. Is Deception its own on its own a starter? Yes, it is. So Deception in any monster. So assuming the idea is for Deception, I'll just showcase it right now. Let's assume that you're going first and you open your Deception, and let's say you open a Charmy, a Molcharmy. So obviously the Molcharmy is dead. You can just go Deception, send the Molcharmy, and you search your Hallowed Azamina. Hallowed Azamina sends Deception. Summoning Rusiliago. Rusiliago effect. Searching you wanted. You go wanted effect. Searching Diabellstar. Then you go Rusiliago, send Rusiliago, summon Diabellstar. Diabellstar effect, setting your second Deception. Now, a lot of people were talking about playing other Azamina cards as a way to set from Diabellstar if you already have Deception, but because we're going to be shuffling back Deception into the deck with wanted later on in our combo, I think it's important to just have that follow up there. Anyways, and you're going to be more than likely sending it off Hallowed anyways down the line. So the cool thing here is we can go something like Diabellstar sending itself, having Dark Magician of Destruction. And here is the cool thing is now Dark Magician of Destruction can activate, grabbing Soul Servant. And now you can go something like Banish Wanted, putting Deception to the bottom of the deck, chaining Soul Servant. And here you can stack any DM card you want, whether it's you're stacking your Rod, you're stacking Pharaoh Servant, you're stacking Souls, whatever the case is. So we'll just stack Pharaoh Servant, put this to the bottom of the deck. You're drawing one card. Then you go Hallowed Azamina, putting it to the extra deck, having Hallowed Azamina in hand. Then you can reveal your spell, summon Demod, or summon Pharaoh Servant. Pharaoh Servant's effect can set you Gaze. And then off you go. Here you go. Hallowed Azamina, sending Deception. Here's your Omni Negate. You have a Dragoon set up for next turn. And off you go. Right? So that's how it is. It depends on if I'm awake by then. Incredible stream, man. Tactics, thank you so much, dude. I love you, man. Where's the Go Second builds? The Go Second builds is play Sky Striker. That deck has not changed at all. You just play all your Dragoon. Just play Dragoon Turbo with Sky Striker. That list has not changed. It's funny enough. I just downloaded Master Duel, and I started building it. I'm now a Master Duel player. Oh, we'll see. I'm playing it for fun. I might make a video on it soon. Like how to start playing Master Duel as a DM player or something like that. So I'll show you guys how I've been doing. It's been so much fun. I played Duelist Cup. I got max level in Duelist Cup, I think, or the level before the max level. I don't know. I played Duelist Cup. I played like one day of Duelist Cup, and it went pretty well. What about 2 Pharaoh Servant, 3 Souls? Yeah, you can do that. But like the cool thing about Pharaoh Servant is Pharaoh Servant can do so much on its own. It's just, yeah, but you're right. You can do it like that too. Oops. Here you can link these two off into whatever. I don't know. Whatever the case is. He top decks Branded Fusion all the time. Master Duel videos real? Yeah, maybe. We'll see how they do it. Guys, you guys are commenting too fast. I can't keep up. I'll send you a link if I must. I mean, the only other card I'd want is a Quick Play Diabellstar that nukes the board based on Spellcaster's attack. Yeah, that could be okay too. But like even then, there's just like setting Deception is just better, right? even in this case, right? You use this, you shuffle Deception back into the deck, and the second Deception is sent off hollowed. This Deception is going to reset itself, so you have follow up anyways. And then if worst case, you can just Magician Souls it away for another card, which is why I think it's pretty crazy. What do you do when you don't draw any cards that link into Azamina? Feels you just lose if you don't draw it. Quite the contrary. If you don't draw into anything Azamina related, you're just playing DM. Especially with Pharaoh's Servant, that's even less so the case. If you're just playing DM stuff with Pharaoh's Servant, I think it's like Pharaoh's Servant fixes that problem. And if you're not, you're still ending on stuff like Seals. Seals Dragoon is pretty common if you're just playing DM stuff, right? Like assuming you open Rod Souls. No, because Rod Souls gets you into Azamina, so you're probably going Azamina down that way. Yeah, the thing is like if you don't draw any Azamina stuff, you just bridge into Azamina stuff off Rod and Souls. I guess that answers that. This batter is your only card to return banished cards? Correct. The Azamina Reasoning deck might give you a good idea for DM. If you paid me all the money in the world to find out how to find a Master Duel list right now, you would lose all your money in the world. You lose all the money. I have no idea how to navigate Master Duel. You know what I did the other day? So I was streaming and I was talking to Gohan in a private chat, just him and I, and he was coaching me on how to start Master Duel. Like he was telling me, okay, do these challenges, get enough gems, play the Duelist Cup, whatever, and then open this pack or whatever. Dude, tell me what my ass did. I ended up accidentally crafting a 5th and 6th Ash Blossom with UR points. I had already 3 Ash Blossoms and I just crafted a 5th and 6th one because vibes. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, I'm such a novice when it comes to Master Duel, but the game's fun. Incredibly sacky game though. Incredibly sacky game. Rod and Pharaohs can also get you to Azamina. Yeah, it can. It can. To be fair, like Pharaoh's Servant and yeah, I mean Pharaoh's Servant and Soul Servant can also get you there, which is cool. You top decks Brandon Fusion all the time? I do. I'm pretty gross with it. Bro just wanted high rarity. Yo, real. You see? Yo, Ice knows. Ice knows. We're just here. We're royaling our deck. I did get a Royal Magician Souls though, so that's pretty cool. I got a Royal Magician Souls. Brother, that's a lot of your points. You're telling me, man. You're telling me. Matchy, you're a smart guy. You could definitely figure out Master Duel. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe. We'll figure it out. It's fun though. It's fun. I just hit... I opened my accounts when? December 20... The last day of Duelist Cup. I opened my account. And I got a pretty solid list. And I just hit gold 1, I think, on Master. I just hit gold 1. Yeah, so we're climbing. I think I'm 1 win away from platinum. We'll figure it out. Are you using the Black Goat in non-engine? No, but you can. I think Black Goat is awesome, especially with Magician Souls. Dark Magician, the Pharaoh's Servant makes all other DM cards so much better. Run to the Sun, brother. You missed the start of the stream. I was preaching from the rooftops about playing a card like playing cards like Amulet, playing cards like Circle. I think that like these two are crazy. Kiwi Dark Magician Girl into DM. I have no idea how we're gonna do that. I know Berry Magician Girl can get into Shining Sark DMG, which I think is interesting. I think if you need a normal summon in Shining Sark, I think it's that or Gadget, which is interesting. Can someone resend the Discord link? I can't find it. Let me see if my computer saved the copy effect. Copy effect. Oh, there it is. Ha! Got it. See? Look at me. I'm a technician. Technologia. Figured it out. We're chilling. Big chilling. Anyways. Yeah, I think that's it. Is there any other ideas that people want to talk about? We kind of went through my whole to-do list. I talked about Adventure, talked about Shining Sark. We talked about Pure with Dark Magic Amulet, Dark Magical Circle. We talked about how much I love this card. We talked about Azumina, and we talked about Water Enchantress, and we talked about... What else did we talk about, chat? We talked about... we talked about bridging into Fiendsmith with the goated card, the Blanco tech of Chronicle Sorceress. Yeah, so we went through so much stuff today. We talked about my Deception application with Heroic Seal searching Abystial mid-combo. Everyone and their mother knows the Village Lock. So I'm so happy that that video of mine really popped off and it got people thinking about Secret Village. I think that's awesome. So we won't talk about Secret Village. If you want to know about Secret Village, you can check out my video on my channel. So we talked about Fiendsmith, we talked about Pure in Amulet Circle, we talked about how I love Dark Magical Circle as a going second card in the side deck. We talked about the Water Enchantress, we talked a lot about the Bellstar. Is there anything else I'm missing? Oh, we talked about the new Blue Eyes card. How this card can be seals and we can go into Settle Kaiba style deck. Have you tried to combine Shining Sark with Azumina, or does it cost too much hand economy when you have both engines? My issue with that is it's two engines that do the exact same thing. However, both need to require additional extra deck resources to do what it wants to do effectively. Did we talk about Primite? No, I'm saving Primite for another video. In my next live stream, I'll hype up my next live stream. There are two new decks that I'm going to be talking about. I don't know if it's gonna be a live stream or a video. There's gonna be two new lists I'm talking about. One is gonna be the Magistus cards. The new Magistus cards look super promising and super relevant. And the next video is going to be, this is gonna be closer to Burst. Is it Burst Protocol? I think is the next one, the next core set. The new Fallen of Albaz cards. I think those cards make DM stupid. They make the engine really good as well. It's just so many options, man. It's incredible how effective this list can be and how many engines. Like, I don't think it's a bad idea right now. Impulse is too OP. Impulse is crazy. Yeah. Anyways, that's that. If I will give myself a self plug. If you're interested in this Dark Magician Girl playmat made by me to support the channel, it's obviously, I think I love it. If you do wish to support the channel, you can pick up a Dark Magician Girl playmat. The link for my store is in the description. There's also two other playmats on my store right now. Let me get them for you. You can find the quantities are limited. They come in like this. It's cool. Packaging. Quantities are limited, so. And then the second playmat available is this, the playmat from my 5,000th video special. Right. This was the first playmat I ever made, and then the other playmat I have available on my store is this Dark Paladin playmat that was made in my last video. So 3 playmats, all 3 really nice qualities. There are rubber playmats. I use them at locals all the time. So if we can't use these, yeah, you can. Absolutely, you can use these. You could absolutely use these at official tournaments. Yeah, so, you know, Dark Paladin, the Dark Magician, the Machi, YGO 5,000 subscriber special. So yeah, there's that mark. This one, I believe I only have 4 of them left. And then the Dark Magician Girl, all stamped, game set Machi. You guys are amazing. So yeah, if you're interested, please purchase a playmat. All proceeds go back into the channel. Whether it's new software, new mic, editing capabilities, a new camera, All I want to do is I want to provide the best possible channel quality for you guys, because you're the best viewers on YouTube, in my opinion, and you deserve nothing short of the best quality. So yeah, Dark Magician Girl, Dark Paladin, and the 5000 special, all available on my website, gamesetmatchy.com. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I appreciate every single one of you. Let me go back to here as we wrap up the stream. I gotta clean up my desk. My desk is a mess. These streams always go crazy with my desk space and everything like that. Hell yeah, can't wait. Spoon Spenta are insane. Yeah, insane. The fact we are in fact spoiled now, I think 100%. I don't want to hear anyone complain about, hey, I need more Dark Magicians support. we have too much to test with now, let alone needing more. Can confirm these mats are fire. Dark Magician Tactics, you're the man, and love you, man. The DM one goes hard too. Appreciate you, Ghostblade. I realize I have the design we spoke about a while ago before I dipped. I'll get him access to you. Appreciate you, Aiden. You're an amazing legend, dude. I'll buy one very soon. Love DMG. Matt's Gaming TV. Appreciate you, man. Torch, I know we've talked about it, but we've never played. Yeah. Do you have to play the OG DM in your list? In Azamina, yes. In Azamina, we have to play the OG DM because it's our only bridge into Azamina. We need a way to access the T-Belstar stuff. In Shining Sark, I don't think we need the OG DM, and I think, and funny enough, in Pure, I don't think we need the OG DM either. Thanks for the stream, Match. You have a good one. Thank you so much, Ice. Thank you so much for being a member. Got Any Grapes? Thank you so much for being a member. My goat, you guys are amazing. I love you guys so much. Need that power spell though. Oh man, I already have too many ideas as it is. If they give me a power spell, I think I'll malfunction. We probably will get more. Yeah, I kind of hope not, because I can't keep testing this stuff. I disagree. The deck doesn't even need a starter spell. I don't think so either, but you know, more the merrier. Even if it's like a card like Amulet where people hated it at first, there's obviously utility and people find utility in it. Anyways, thank you everyone so much for watching. Every single one of you have been unreal in this stream. You guys have made Yu-Gi-Oh! So unbelievably fun for me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And a Happy New Year, because I probably won't see you until the New Year. Happy New Year's.